Morning, sports fans. Lightning ESL, Mr. Little here. Surprise! Expressions. Expressions. Phrases, words, right? We've all heard the common ones such as, you're late. You're on time. I love you. I don't love you. Where are you? Why don't you call? Etc., etc., etc. Expressions. Some you like, some you don't like. Some you'd love to hear, some you never want to hear. That's why it's called expressions. But also expressions are also a lot of companies use certain phrases like, just do it. It must be nice. Where have you been? You can't make your own meals? You can't clean up for yourself? What have I taught you? All expressions. Some you like, some you don't like. Some you have to hear, some you never want to hear. But they're all called expressions. Here at Lightning ESL, I try to give out many things of advice, alright? Some you like, some you don't like. But that's too bad, isn't it? Reality 101. Reality 101. We're all doing the best we can. What does that mean? Well, today is Friday. Unbelievable. It's almost 6:30 in the morning. Expressions. The sun's coming up. Expressions, musical lyrics by commercials, all kinds of things. Some remember, some you don't. Psychologically, what's amazing is the worst things always remember. You always remember the worst things, don't you? It goes into your long-term memory. Right? Learning how to ride a bicycle. Right? It goes into long-term memory. We're talking about expressions. So when somebody says, you know how to do that? You're capable of doing that? Unbelievable, isn't it? And sometimes you'll have an expression like, I don't understand. We all have this. Sometimes we say it. Sometimes we think about it. Sometimes we hear other people say it. And you're trying to understand, what does that mean? It simply means, sorry for the noise, that's police somewhere in the vicinity telling somebody to move over. Expressions come in all different forms, don't they? Some you like, some you don't like, all right? Like under your breath, you go for an interview. Interviewer might say, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Or, I like this character. Might be very good for the company, all right? A lot of expressions you want to say out loud, but you can't. Sometimes for security of a job, security of a family relationship, all kinds of things. It's still under the category called expressions. Right. So, it's amazing how we learn as we go through life. I should say this, I shouldn't have said that. Or I should have said that. Why didn't I say that? Right? Expressions, right? Sometimes you're hoping for the big job, the big deal. Sometimes you're holding this, you're praying for that. All right? But you can't say anything out loud. It's self-consciousness, isn't it? I can't say this because of. Or I should say this because of. It's still expressions. Sometimes the expressions are very, very short. Perfect example. In my English class, what is the most common 3 words you've heard your whole life? The most common 3 words since the day you were born. What are they? It's a short sentence, 3 words. What is that expression? I love you. 3 words, all right? Now, there's many ways of saying those 3 words, such as I love you. Next, I love you. See? I just changed the expression. I just changed the emotion, the overall meaning. Same 3 words, how we said those 3 words. If you write it down on a piece of paper, just I love you, and somebody reads that, what's the emotional feeling? Is it I love you? Is it I love you? Right. So in English words, you have to put in what? A comma after one of those words, which creates the emotion. You see? It's just an expression. But as humans, what do? We use emotions, tone of voice, volume. That forms a certain meaning to the person hearing that in the expression. See what I mean? As I mentioned before, in many, many podcasts before, every living creature communicates. By movement, by sound, whatever. Pheromones into the air, whatever. It's communication. it is a form of expression. It is. It's all a form of expression. So always remember, expression, again, the police, all the times expression come out different ways, different formats. That's where the term expression comes from. What is it? It's a group of words or sounds that has certain meaning. This means this means that. It's still a form and expression. And sometimes you've heard this before. Non-verbal expression is your body. When I say my body, it's your expression of posture. Your face changes. The emotion comes through your face. You didn't say a word. There is no sound. Just how you act to another human forms a type of expression. See what I mean? So I try to get these type of images, messages, understanding across in different ways by giving lots and lots of examples. This is just one of them. We're using expressions. As I said before, some you'd like to hear, some you don't want to hear. All right? The strange thing is, the quieter you are, people don't understand sometimes what you mean because you didn't say anything. You didn't move. It's like playing poker, the game of poker. Some people have a natural poker face. They show no emotion whatsoever of what kind of cards they have in their hand. That's still a form of expression. And sometimes no communication is the worst because people don't understand what you're thinking. They're worried. Does that person think this? Does that person think that? They're not showing any expression. Just stone cold. Yeah. So what does that mean? You have to guess, don't you? If you look at a pet animal, we don't know how they're thinking, but there is a language. All creatures communicate. As I said before, all living things communicate. So if you knew their expression, you'd be ahead so much. That's where the term expression comes from. Understanding a certain movement or sound forms a certain meaning to understanding for the person observing this, or hearing this, or feeling it, or touching it. You see what I mean? That's what expression means. Expression. To hear Lightning ESL, I'll try to help you more and more. In today's version, that version, old version, so on. Express and change. Like now we hear, it is what it is. What does that mean? You can't change things. That's what it means. You can't change everything. You don't control everything. So you have to adapt. That's another expression. Learn how to adapt. Expression. Grow up means a million things to somebody. Grow up what? Mentally? Physically? You see what I mean? How you express yourself this way is not always interpreted correctly according to you of that. Example, if somebody has a name with letters after their name, PhD, medical doctor, MD, that's the expression of meaning. But if you don't know what it means, is it your fault? No. I've run this across many times with people all kinds of letters after their name. And I said, what does that mean? What does this mean? What does that mean? If you're not surrounded all day long and every day of your life with those people who have letters after their name, you would have no idea what it means. You wouldn't. You really wouldn't. People make up names, make up titles. It makes them feel better that they've enriched themselves. That's expression of their worth to that company, for example. You see what I mean? That's what expressions means. Any ideas about what I'm talking about right now or more you'd like me to talk about, please email me at brian.little324@gmail.com. That's small letters BRIAN.LITTLE324@gmail.com. Till next time, thanks very much. Bye-bye.